Who's up next, Alan?
All right, let's bring up Michael, and we got Honeycomb.
Ooh, yes, Honeycomb fun. Okay, this is about as perfect of a selection for a Slamdance movie as I could think of because the movie is raw. I mean, it's so raw, it makes tartar look like charboil. It is really raw. It's about a group of young girls who've just graduated high school who decided on their final summer before, like off to college, that they're going to essentially run away from home and all live in an abandoned house in the middle of the woods. And they would go ahead and form their own society out there with their own set of laws and their own set of rules. If they bring any dumb boys to the house, they have to come blindfolded so they won't know where the house is secretly located in the woods. And all of this is just fine and hunky dory, except for the fact that the movie starts going in and skewing horror when we get to one rule. I believe it's called justified revenge, but it's essentially where if one girl is wronged by another girl, they're allowed to inflict equal harm upon that girl that they were inflicted upon, which usually goes ahead and is manifested in some sort of very gruesome physical way. Things get a little nuttier and nuttier, and it gets a little bit more culty. And things, eventually just, get completely and total bozo McGillicuddy in terms of how far things go in terms of this. The really big catch of the movie is that the movie was made for absolutely time that the movie was made. The woman who directed it, Avalon Fast, was only 19 years old. And this is to me is something that we've not run into before. I've never run into sort of a teen rebellion movie that was actually made by teenagers. Usually there's some sort of creepy art photographer in the background or something like that. But no, these were actually made by actual teenagers going through teenage rebellion and coming up with sort of mind you a grotesque version of what the a teenage female separatist society would look like. But the results are phenomenal, and the whole thing's very lo-fi. Originally, when approaching it, I thought it was some sort of direct homage to sort of Herschel Gordon Lewis level type filmmaking. And then, after further examination, and then, later on when I saw their Q&A, nope, wasn't a homage. It was just the fact that this was the first time that they had made a feature. They got a camera. They didn't know if it was the right camera or not. And the results look just like something Michael and Roberta Findlay would direct like in the 1970s, like Snuff or something like that. It looks like Malibu High right there. But at the same time, completely unintentionally, but still capturing that sort of raw 70s/60s underground film spirit. And also there's some beautiful shots in it too. And it's, even though it's a horror, I would say it's more of an art film with horror elements because the intentions are a lot heavier than just trying to go ahead and do, just sort of a sensory catharsis on the whole thing. There's some real, serious examination of, the pluses of, a separatist type system, but then, eventually how it becomes corrupted. But yeah, it is raw.
I love the way you say that, Michael. You froze there for a second, at least for me. I don't know if you froze for everybody else, but that sounds really amazing. I do like that Slamdance, most of the films that you're seeing are by first-time directors, which is really interesting when you can see, and I'll if I could just say real quickly, that a lot of the films you're seeing at Slamdance are first-time directors who also, these movies are rough around the edges. They're not perfect. They're a little, you're going to see maybe in some cases some technical errors or something where you're like, maybe those effects are not, but it doesn't matter. I feel like a lot of these smaller indie movies, they're like birds with broken wings. You know, you want them to fly and be free and get out into the world. You know, you want them to you know, in spite of whatever shortcomings the films have, you know, you can see the creativity underneath the surface, and that is really a unique thing. Someone 19 years old to make their first feature. What's up next, Alan?
Okay, I was just gonna say I want to see Lord of the Flies made by children. That
Right, Lord of the Flies made by kids. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.